Hey guys, before we get started, I want to give you the heads up about an upcoming 2-week free online trading workshop called Bridging the Gap. During this event, you're going to learn some new skills, gain some valuable experience, and work with a handful of professional traders who are passionate about helping you take your trading and investing to the next level. Again, this workshop is 100% free. It is online. All you have to do is register, and you can do so at www.tier1trading.com/BTG. Again, that's www.tier1trading.com/BTG. Hey guys, welcome back to the Trading Coach Podcast. In today's episode, we're going to take on somewhat of a controversial issue and make it trading related. Now, if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just YouTube search Akil Stokes. Also, if you're on social media, make sure you follow me on TikTok now, Akil Stokes RTM. Try to share a few quick hit and quick tip videos each and every day about trading, entrepreneurship, personal development, motivation, all of that fun stuff. That's at Akil Stokes RTM on TikTok and other social media platforms, and Akil Stokes on YouTube. So the other day I was having a conversation with, I don't know if we would even call him an aspiring trader, but someone who's kind of been dipping their toe in and out of trading really for the last couple of years, right? 2020, right? The COVID experience was a very interesting year in the financial markets, as there was a lot of negative stuff that went on, obviously with the pandemic, the loss of life, the loss of jobs, but it was also a year of extremely good opportunities. From a trading perspective, it was one of the best years that many investors had. It was also a year that I know personally, I worked with many traders who finally had the chance to live their dream, meaning that they've been thinking about trading, they've been practicing trading, but they've been kind of hesitant about really going after it 100%. And the fact that they were either, they lost their job or they were working from home finally gave them the ability to kind of focus their full effort on trading, and they went ahead and got funded and all this fun stuff, right? Life-changing moments, which is pretty cool. And the trader I was talking to said the same thing, right? During the COVID experience, he started digging into trading. One reason, he was bored and had nothing better to do, and this is something that interested him in the past. But he was also thinking about getting out of his job. He had worked his job. He became kind of bored with it. He found himself in a rat race, wanted to move to a different country, and said, hey, this is a way that I can generate some income, kind of bigger picture, thinking years down the road, and allow me to live kind of my perfect life, which is pretty cool. And what's interesting about this is that I usually don't have trading conversations with people. I went from the beginning of my career where I was embarrassed to tell people that I was an investor and a trader, to the middle of my career where, I forced myself to have confidence in telling people what I was doing, and I couldn't wait to tell everyone, to now where I try not to talk about it too much because most people don't take it seriously. But we were talking about the difference between trading and investing in the sense of what you're doing. And for me, coming from both parties, the difference between trading and investing is this. As an investor, you are kind of taking a personal stake in the company, right? It is a long-term investment, and maybe not a personal stake as if you're I guess you are technically personally a part owner, but a personal stake meaning, hey, longer term, I have this bias. I think this is, fundamentally going to be a good stock to pick, and I'm riding with it for months, years, however long you plan on holding it. As a trader, our time duration in a trade is much, much shorter, right? It's a very quick relationship. You can insert your own analogies there about long-term relationships and just hooking up with someone at the bar for a one-night stand. But it's very similar to the latter, where we don't really have any opinion. We don't really have any long-term feelings for what we're doing. We just want to get out of it what we want to get out of it and then be out of it. So I always make the reference, as traders, we are like mercenaries, right? I trade the Forex market particularly. I don't really care about the strength of the euro. I don't really care about the strength of the US dollar. All I care about for the time being is the strength of the euro versus the strength of the US dollar. And I'm comfortable selling one and buying the other at any given time. We talk about correlations a lot on this podcast and then on my channel as well. And I don't have a problem selling the euro dollar while I'm buying the pound dollar. And if you're new to Forex trading, what that means is basically if I'm selling the euro dollar, it means I am basically bullish the US dollar. If I am buying the pound dollar, it means I am bearish the US dollar. So I don't have a problem being bearish and bullish the US dollar at the same time if what I'm seeing on the chart tells me to do so. And we talk about this mercenary type of thought process and we glorify it because I think it's what you need to be as a trader. But the other day, it gave me a thought on if there is a point where we need to draw a line. And unfortunately, here in the US, and I know you guys know this around the world, we've been dealing with a lot of mass shootings, right? We just had one on the 4th of July. There was another one that was about to happen on the 4th of July. It has become too common that we are having schools and whatnot shot up, right? Children, the people that we are supposed to be the most protective of, are victims of these crazy acts. And this isn't stuff that's happening across the world. It's happening here in America. And we've really become the joke of countries across the world. At the same time, as an investor and as a trader, what we're looking for is opportunities. And I was explaining to this trader kind of my philosophy on investing. And I was always taught kind of a common sense approach of investment, right? I'm not, I never looked at a lot. Well, I did look at a lot of financial spreadsheets and stuff like that, just because I thought that's what I needed to do. But the bulk of my investment decisions were made off of common sense. It was connecting the dots. It was putting the puzzle pieces together, cause and effect, right? These are the basics of economics in general. If you guys haven't read it, there's a great book by Thomas Sowell called Basic Economics. And the cool thing about it is that it features zero math. The bad thing about it, it's a real thick book. So it's going to take you a while to get through, but it features zero math. And if you look at economics at its core principles, economics isn't about specific math. It is about relationships, cause and effect, right? If cows start dying off, what's going to happen to milk prices, right? They're going to go up, right? The supply of cows are less, so less milk can be produced. Demand is going to be the same for that milk. Well, now you can charge more for that milk because people are willing to pay for it, right? Supply and demand, no math in there at all, but it's about relationships. And I always took that approach to the stock market as well. And I was given an example, and it was a bad example, and it made me kind of think. And I don't really have an answer on this. And you guys, maybe you want to leave me a comment, shoot me a DM, and let me know what you think as well. But going back to the trader being mercenary thing, I gave an example of this, right? So we had this school shooting, right? We had a July 4th shooting a couple days ago, but we had this another bad school shooting back in May. And I remember the day after that school shooting, and the first thought that went through my mind in that school shooting after kind of the initial terror, because I got a young child that's in school and it kind of scares me at this point, was what's going to be the repercussions, right? And you're putting two and two together. Well, we're going to be in this panic over school shootings. There's going to be a big outrage and there's going to be more pressure to ban guns, right? And that's going to be political pressure. So we can make the assumption that there is a real fear that the supply of guns and ammunition may be reduced. So just like I said with the milk example, if the supply of ammunition and guns is going to be reduced, what happens to the price? Well, people are going to flock with even higher demand to go get them, which means you can charge more for those things. And we should see a boost in the stock price. And lo and behold, I forgot what I was looking at. I think I was looking at Ruger and Company and maybe someone else. But there were stock jumps of nearly 10% with Smith & Wesson. I think it was like 5 or 6% with Ruger and Company and 4% in this other stock I looked at. I forgot the ticker, so forgive me. But stock prices jumped. And the immediate thought that went in my head, I'm not in the stock market right now, is like, man, I should have bought them up. But this is where that moral dilemma now comes in. And I don't really know the answer because I haven't had a chance to experience this yet. But is it the right thing to do? Right? Ultimately, it all depends on what you value, where you lie, but maybe not using the guns as a specific example. But if there is a particular stock, let's say a company that you hate, like they are doing bad things, they are, child labor, whatever like that, and you see an opportunity to invest in them because it's a no-brainer money making opportunity for you, is that moral dilemma something that's going to stop you from investing? Or are you able to kind of separate yourself? You separate the person from you, the trader. And maybe you, the person, stands for this and stands for that and draws the line. You don't buy their stuff in the mall or whatever like that. But you, the trader, is the mercenary saying, hey, I got to grow my business. I got to grow my trading account. It's nothing personal. This is an opportunity for me to make money. And I think that is an interesting debate. I don't really know where I stand because I've never been in that opportunity. And especially I've never been in that opportunity at the position I'm at now, because I do think those decisions can change depending where you're at. I can tell you right now, as a younger trader and investor who came into this game with no money, straight mercenary, right? I didn't care about anything aside from how can I make me the most money possible, right? Capitalist pig. How can I make me the most money possible? Because money was a massive need at the time. I needed to get that ball rolling. I needed to make good calls. I needed to grow my trading account so I can ultimately achieve financial freedom and time freedom. You look at myself now, right? Fast forward 16 years. Gosh, I've been doing this for so long. I've earned a bit of flexibility where, because that need for money isn't the same. Now, don't get me wrong. I desire to make all the money I can possibly make. Don't start saying Akil doesn't care about money. I love the money, right? Money can do amazing things. We just had a nice little post on social media talking about the real value of money, with it being a tool for you to buy the things and do the things that you really want, whether it's giving back or providing this and providing that. So I love the money, don't get me wrong, but it's not as much of a need as it was 16 years ago. So does that mean that I put a filter and I now draw the line that says, hey, this is an excellent buy, a no-brainer buy, I can make lots of money off of it, but I'm going to take a stand and I don't want to invest in this because they're doing that. And again, it's a question I never really thought about until this minute when I turned the microphone on. And this is why I like the Trading Coach podcast. If you're new, I don't rehearse these. I don't write these down. I don't plan ideas. There you go. You can see real-time blubbers and flubbers of the word. It's a chance for me to share my thoughts with you guys, real-time, unscripted. And it's a chance for me to hear back from you. And I hope with this podcast, not only am I helping you grow as a trader by sharing my knowledge and sharing my experiences, but you're helping me grow as a person, because I'm on this journey too. Maybe I'm a little bit behind you. Maybe I'm a little bit ahead of you. But we're all on this same path, and I'm always trying to learn. So I would love to hear this. Again, shoot me a message. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. I don't know if you can message on TikTok. I'm on Facebook. If you're listening to this on YouTube, I post a podcast on YouTube as well. You can shoot me a comment in the comment section below. That might be the best way, perhaps, aside from a direct message. But let me know what you think. Let me know if you've ever kind of pondered this issue. And let me know what your decision was. And I want to make it 100% clear before I leave you guys. There's no wrong answer, right? There's no wrong answer. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing something one way. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing something another way. So I don't want to start one of those debates where he said, she said, he's right, they're wrong, all that type of stuff, right? There is no wrong. I just thought it was a curious question, because this type of stuff is happening more and more, and I can't turn my investment mind off. And I was shocked that the first thing that came to mind when I heard about these things was like, man, that's a good buy. It's going to be some good buys tomorrow. And well, not the first thing. Again, the first thing was the kind of the sadness and the fear. But the first kind of investment idea was that. How can I take advantage of it? And just thinking right now, we actually did see something similar. I mean, well, not the same, but I mentioned earlier, COVID was a very tough time. I made a killing during COVID. My partners made a killing during COVID because we bought a lot of things up for very, very cheap. Now, is that something where you're taking advantage of a global pandemic where people are losing their lives and losing their job? Or is that just taking advantage of the opportunity that's in front of you? Maybe not the same type of direct relationship, but kind of similar. Just like back in the day where if you were a short seller in the stock market, right? You were an outcast. People hated you. Interesting. Let me know. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Again, I mentioned I'm all over the place on social media at Akil Stokes RTM. Give me a follow. Reach out if you have any questions or comments. I don't bite. In fact, many of the questions and comments that you do have turn into Trading Coach podcast episodes. So keep them coming. All right. Until next time, plan your trade your plan, like, subscribe, leave me some feedback on the podcast, and I'll see you guys next episode.